right, everybody. Welcome to this our first live show here. Type in some questions if you like. I can try to answer some stuff in this Q&A. I'm going to go around and just show you a little more detail of some things I do in our garden and get a closer look at what we got growing here as well. So as you can see, sun's finally coming out today. I get a lot of questions about soil amendments. And I've grown a lot of things over the years, but I found that the two top products that I like to use are a cotton burr compost and a cow manure. Those are the two that I go with. And then, as you can see in our bed, I've gone with this is a pecan mulch that I'm using here. It's it's a local Texas product. Texas is popular for pecan trees, and that has really worked very well for us. In the past, I've used some fabric to keep the weeds out. With our little smaller area now, this mulch does just fine. So you can see we got a lot growing. Got some strawberries we're almost done making. Here they just a few left. Got rosemary, you can see the bees. I plant these, this is a black-eyed Susan. I like to plant this. It really attracts the bees into our area. So highly recommend planting a few flowers out there, ones that the bees really like. And then, that'll help pollination as well. You can see the deal here is kind of sprouted up, gotten high. I'm gonna let it just go to seed. Well, we can always use these ferns still to cook with. They'll be just fine. As well as this cilantro. Here it is right here. It's kind of fallen over. It's gotten so tall. I'm gonna let it just go to seed too. Have coriander seeds. We can replant it next year to let the seeds fall. It'll self-seed itself as well. Back in here, that's kind of gotten hidden, is my chives. They've kind of stopped blooming. You can actually eat these chive flowers as well. If you've never tried them, very good for a garnish. But these are doing well as well. Some Swiss chard I talk about a lot. It's very, very easy stuff to grow. And it's almost perennial for us, unless we get a really hard freeze in the winter. A lot of herbs in this bed. Got a rosemary. This is this cutting celery I talked about in the last video. It's gotten much larger now. Here's a little bee friend visiting us. Love it. We got just a little bit of lavender plant. It's kind of gotten covered up, I think, with this celery plant. Got some sage. This sage plant is massive. I can't believe how big it's gotten. As well as this thyme. I think this thyme is I think it's a lemon thyme. Let me smell it here. Yeah, it's a lemon thyme. It's very fragrant. And it's kind of filling over the border that I built. It looks really nice, just hangs over the edge there. Someone asked about, well, the comments disappeared on me. There it is. About using them as medical medicine. Of course you can. I'm not big on using them for medical purposes as much as just for cooking. You could always, do a little more research, Google that. And then over here we got mint. I love this mint. It's in a nice cemented border, as you can see. So it does spread. This was one plant I planted a couple of years ago, and you can see how much it has spread down the flower bed there. I got someone asking about zucchini. I didn't plant any squash or zucchini this year. They do get quite large and take over a big area. That's what I was talking about, pollination, attract the bees to the garden, because the squash and zucchini do need to be pollinated or they will not set fruit. You may get some little fruit that you think are starting to grow, and then they'll shrivel up and die because they haven't been pollinated. And you can search online, there's some hand pollination techniques you can do, but I don't really have the time to be hand pollinating each little flower in a squash plant. Hopefully that helps. So get some flowers to attract the bees, or you can manually do it. Here's another lavender back here growing. It's kind of getting hidden through all my other stuff growing. And down this way, I got along the fence, some more flowers, echinacea, rosemary. I'm gonna add some down on this way. I think this is my asparagus bed I had planted a while back. You can see there's some asparagus. All right, I think we're back. Sorry about that. Trying to figure out this Wi-Fi out in the far back of the house. But I was talking about this corner area. I'm gonna try to figure out something to plant in that area there, because it gets a lot more shade. So I would highly recommend anything that you plant for a veggie garden gets full sun. It needs as most amount of sun as you can possibly get. I had a tree cut down back here, so now our yard and veggies are gonna start doing much better back here. I'm gonna walk over to the other flower bed and show you what we got going in that veggie garden as well. Our tomatoes are gigantic. I've been pruning the tops off of them so they will stop from growing and set more fruit instead of keep growing up and up and up. So I want them to focus on growing the fruit, not the plant as much. And there's quite a few tomatoes. See if I can find some in here for you. This plant here has gotten quite a few. Down in this way here. Hopefully you can see those. Lots of tomatoes. Some back on that side. So we got a lot of tomatoes growing here. Hopefully they'll start turning red soon. These are the smaller grape tomatoes on this one. See some more back in this area here growing. And then we got our peppers. Pepper plants, got a few pepper plants. They're slowly starting to grow. I got some, this is a sriracha peppers right there on that plant. And some other peppers. This is probably one of my favorite that do the best. This is called a Corno di Toro pepper. And I found over the years that these peppers just produce so well. So I've bought a couple of those. It's still a little early for peppers. They do great in the summertime. Here's some more Swiss chard. We've pulled out all of our brassica plants, broccoli, lettuces, spinach. It's past their prime. If you're thinking about just now starting a garden, I would really focus on a fall vegetable garden. It's a little too hot to really start, or it's too late to plant much else. There you can start doing some fall tomatoes, but I haven't had a lot of luck with the fall tomatoes just yet. But you can try it out and see. This is our blackberry bush. We've been picking some blackberries off of here for a while now. As you can see, they're starting to ripen up. Here's one ready to go. Little boy's been out here picking them. But now is the time to think about fall gardening. It's actually a much easier time, I think, to garden, because you don't have to deal with the heat, stress, and sometimes there's a lot of pest problems in the spring and summer. In the fall garden, I haven't really had any kind of pest issues, so hopefully I'll find this helpful. See if I can find any more comments. Here we go. Onto my first tomatoes. Varmints got the first batch. Yeah, we had some rodents in our last house that got a lot of stuff, and also birds will in our area will start picking at these tomatoes once they start turning pink, or if they're red, they'll for surely. So I like to pick them a little bit pink, and then I will let them ripen. Look at this, we got our first tomato here. See if I can show y'all. First tomato of the season, a couple of them. Pull them off here. Because other thing about these tomatoes is, you see how much foliage I have? It covers them up. So then the birds won't see them as much because the tomatoes are kind of hiding, like these here, and all the foliage. So we got some first tomatoes of the season, little grape tomatoes, but I'll take them. They're just let them get a little more riper. I like them nice bright red, and they'll be ready to eat. Of course, you could eat them now. So hopefully I found this for our first Q&A helpful. Thanks for stopping in. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. Turn on those notifications on so you can be notified when we do go live or a new video is posted. And hope y'all have a great day.